Hey guys, it's Mooty here, and today I have a Wi-Fi battle against one of my Twitter followers. So if you want a chance to battle me, whenever I ask out for battles, it's usually over Twitter. That's the easiest for me, and you can find all my social media in the description. So before we start, this is post-commentated, so if you enjoy these, I'd appreciate a like, and 200 likes is usually the like goal I like to aim for. And in this battle, I'm going to be using, okay, I'm not going to spoil what mega I'm using, but obviously there are two megas that I have a potential of using, so getting into the battle, I feel like I can lead off with, I believe I lead off with Excadrill in this case, just because I wanted to set up my Stealth Rocks first turn. He didn't really have anything that could potentially, like, defog. The only thing, like, I was scared of with Gengar is Focus Blast, because sometimes they do tend to carry it, but this one just ends up Shadow Balling me, and I was also hoping that kind of the Mold Breaker might scare him out, if anything, so I just went off and set off my Stealth Rocks first turn. I figured it would be useful, especially because he does carry a Salamence, potentially Mega, and getting the Stealth Rock damage on that would be useful. I decided to stay in here because once I set up Stealth Rocks, I felt like my job here was done, because I really have no use for Rapid Spin, assuming he doesn't really set up his Stealth Rocks, so I just went off and hit the Gengar with Mold Breaker Earthquake, and that clean takes it out. Luckily, he wasn't holding a Focus Sash or anything, so I didn't have to deal with that, and I get some HP back from my leftovers, which is useful. However, this thing is going to be kind of fodder to me, so I'm not really too concerned with keeping it around. Although now that Ferrothorn comes out, I'm kind of thinking he's going to set up his Stealth Rock, so I could have stayed in Rapid Spin, but I felt like I'd rather get momentum and send in my Heatran here as he sets up his Stealth Rocks. I knew that he would be threatened by Heatran. He didn't want to stay in. He has a full HP Ferrothorn, so I figured the best thing for him to go into would be the Salamence, so I just hit him with my HP Ice. Thankfully that paid off, because if he stayed in, although if he even stayed in, really, there's nothing he could do to me except for Thunder Wave me potentially that would have really affected me much, so I felt like going for the HP Ice was the best play in this scenario, and it did pay off because the Salamence just got taken out really easily. So now the Tyranitar comes in, and obviously I don't want to take any type of Earthquakes. Since I am Choice Scarfed, I'm not running Balloon or anything, I do have to watch out for Earthquakes. So I figured I'm going to go into my Rotom here on the off chance he's going to want to Earthquake me. And if not, at the very least, if he turns out to be a physical set, which we find out now he's a cursing set, so he is physical, I can Will-O-Wisp him and definitely take out the threat that is physical Tyranitar, or at least make him less of a threat, having him be burnt, especially because he is setting up curses here. So luckily I land the Will-O-Wisp. He doesn't carry Lum or anything, so that's also something that I'm really thankful for, and he goes for Payback, which still burnt does a huge amount. Like, honestly, even though he's burnt, that does a huge amount. If he had not been burnt, that would have just clean taken me out, and I really don't want that. So here I'm trying to get off some extra damage on Tyranitar. My goal here is to make Tyranitar get low enough to where I think I could bring Salamence in, or at least make him get low enough to where later on Salamence can maybe clean up late game, because I am running a mixed Salamence actually. I'm not running the standard Dragon Dance and everything else. I am running mixed Salamence because I did want to give it a try, so that was ultimately my goal. So here I kind of had a feeling he was going to switch out. I almost wanted to Volt Switch, but I just ended up Hydro Pumping on the off chance he wanted to stay in, because really I have the room here to kind of mess up if I have to. And also, if the Sandstorm doesn't take me out this turn, I can definitely outspeed this thing and rest up. Assuming that he overpredicts here and doesn't go for a big Giga Drain, then I have a decent chance of getting my health back up, which is also useful, and keeping Rotom around is always a good thing to have, so I can take care of Tyranitar a bit easier later on if I have to. And he does end up over-predicting and going for the Ancient Power, maybe expecting my Salamence to come in, which would have been really awful if I did bring him in, but I really felt no need to make that kind of a risky play because I don't have to. I'm not in a position where I have to. So now going to Heatran, I really felt like this thing wasn't posing much of a threat to me. I really wasn't sure of what its moveset was other than Grass type attack, Ancient Power, and maybe Poison type attack. And other than that, I wasn't really sure what else it was going to carry, so I felt safe going into Heatran, thinking that nothing he had could scare me out. I was thinking maybe it was going to go into Tyranitar here, so I went with my gut and went for the Earth Power. It didn't work out that way, and instead I ended up propping his Citrus, which makes this bulky thing even more annoying. And he does get hacks and misses Focus Blast, which I feel bad for, but I kind of got to play around it now and switch out back into my Sceptile. I figured he can't really do much else to me. Here I wasn't really aware he was carrying Sludge Bomb. I do only find that out later on, so that's why I felt safe going into Sceptile here. Assuming it was going to Ancient Power me, I knew that at least my Hidden Power would do a lot of damage to where either it would take it out or it would lessen his HP enough to where Salamence can take it out. He goes into his Scizor here, maybe expecting me to be Mega and going for a Dragon Pulse, so he maybe wanted to resist it, but instead I was carrying the HP Fire, and it does take out the Scizor there. So after the Scizor faints, he goes back into his Tangrowth here. I forgot the name of that thing. But yeah, it goes back into his Tangrowth here, and I just went for the HP Fire. As you can see, the Regenerator also kicking in does make it annoying because he did get back a huge chunk of health that actually made him live this. And now he can easily take me out with Sludge Bomb. Like I said, I wasn't aware he was carrying Sludge Bomb before, but now I'm aware. It does make me lose my Sceptile. However, this thing is weakened and low enough to where I feel like from here on, my Salamence can take care of the rest of his team. So here I go into Salamence. The Intimidate is kind of pointless here because he's a special attacker, but it's still nice to get off as I do Mega. And keep in mind, guys, Salamence actually, I believe, got the ban today, so from here on and overused, I'm pretty sure it's illegal. At least it's in testing, if not, it's already banned, but this is probably my last time using Salamence. I just want to try out special Salamence at least before the ban. So I do Hyper Voice here. Since it turns into a flying type attack, it's super effective, takes it out, because also I am mixed Salamence. From here, after his Tyranitar comes in, I'm also carrying Earthquake, so I really have a good amount of type, I have a good variety of types on my Salamence where I can hit a lot of things, basically the rest of his team. I take out his Tyranitar with Earthquake, and I believe the last thing he has left on his team is a Ferrothorn, which really can't do much to me, so I was kind of just hoping that the Fire Blast would not miss here. So my set right now is Draco Meteor, Fire Blast, Earthquake. I do have some attack EVs in this thing, not a lot, but some, just enough where Earthquake would do good damage. And I have Hyper Voice as the last slot because it does get Aerolite boost. So that was today's match, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. As always, leave a like if you did, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the post commentary. I'm switching it up between post and live just because I know I kind of have a mix of audiences for both of them. But as always, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I love you all, and bye.